Hi everybody, so today I'll be trying out the new Glimmer of the Month and Stitching Die of the Month for Spellbinders April 2024 collections or club kits. I do have a whole unboxing of all the complete or deluxe caboodle, and I'll link that video in the description box so you can see everything. But today I'll focus on these two guys. So these were sent free of charge for my review, and of course all opinions are my own, and any links in the description box will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items through those links. These things are released on the 1st, and if you want to sign up brand new, you could have done that like on the 6th, the 5th, or the 6th. Up until the end of the month, there's like a week blackout period. You do get 10% off the site once you are a member, an active member, and you can cancel at any time. Like, literally, you can sign up, get this, and just cancel 2 days from now, whatever. So there's no commitment there. But for today, what I was trying to say is that we've already had a couple days go through, and in my mind, when I first saw this and, I had laid it out, I thought, oh, how cute if we do some stitching, like with this, and then use this guy, because it makes like it's supposed to look like an embroidery hoop with your little sampler or however, and I thought that'd be cute, and I thought we can do some stitches and then maybe cut it out with this guy and then still do the sampler, or like embroidery, like project framed or hooped up project, look. But I do see that they have an example similar to that, so I don't know who made the example on their design team, or who might have submitted an image for that, and I'm sorry, I don't know, but I'm still gonna go with it because it was something I had thought of, but hopefully I'll make it different enough that it's just something else, right? Similar feel, but something different. So that's a bummer, but that's what happens when you wait, right? So I'm going to do that still with the Glimmer, because the Glimmer has these little different kind of stitchings, and I thought that's really, really cute. So of course you can mix and match these. You can, do your own little sample or whole card background, because honestly they give you so many of them, and I think they're about 6 inches tall, so that you have a good amount. Yeah, they're almost 6 inches, if not 6 inches. It just depends on the design and kind of where it ends. So you can definitely play with that in different ways on different size cards. It has sentiments, which we'll use today. The sampler or the stitching one does have, like, for you, some words, but it also has like a little tag that says hi, and it has, or you don't have to put the hi, you can just have the little tag. You have, your flowers, I love sprigs. You have the sprigs. With this one, what you're stitching are the flowers, the flower centers, and then the larger leaf if you're going to use that. Other than that, everything else is just kind of decorative and pops on there. So if you don't want to do any stitching, you don't have to. You can, just use the sprigs and some other things to make your sampler. But we're just going to get started. So generally, you have your little cloth in the background. I don't know how I was going to orient this. Maybe we orient it that way. Make it a little bit different, and then have like our sentiment in here, and then these are our stitchings in the background. Okay, so let me grab some white paper. I like using white Aida cloth when I'm stitching, or maybe a cream color, maybe black if I'm being very artsy, but most of the time it's white. So I'm just gonna get some white paper. We're gonna use the Moon Dust, a roll that comes with this month's Glimmer. Now again, it does say, this is the intended color, but it does say colors may vary, so you might get a different color. Either way, whenever you're a club member that month, you do get a Glimmer roll. If you were to pick this up later on down the line, it's not going to come with the Glimmer, okay? So just know that. It's just going to be the plates and dies or however, right? It'll be this part, but not an extra roll. Let me grab some paper, and then we'll go from there. I'll get my Glimmer going also. So I have my Glimmer is on. Oh, how funny. I was going to cut a new black card base, but apparently the last time I cut a card base, it was black, so I'm just going to use the other portion of this. That was an A2 size piece of paper, so 8.5 by 11, but cut at 5.5. And then I'm going to score it at 4 1/4. Oh, don't cut it. Score it at 4 1/4. And then I just have some white cardstock. These are both heavyweight cardstocks. I like heavyweight for my card base. I like heavyweight for literally everything. It is a little crooked though, I will say. What happened there? Okay. Here we go. I like to kind of get the excess out however I can, so I always line it up so that you get a nice straight edge. Card base put to the side, and then just white heavyweight cardstock. I'm just going to cut it down at 5.5 because that's generally what I do anyway, but I am going to use this die, so I know it doesn't need to be 5.5 inches tall, but that's just what's going to help me with the next thing I make. And cut it at 4 1/4. You know, I always cut up, and you're supposed to cut up because it pushes up against this instead of pulling away from it. But I feel like my blade has been getting a little bit dull, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and bring it down here. If you haven't seen my review on this guy, you can check it out, but basically you bring it down here and then you kind of pop it up and it'll come out. You have to catch the groove. I'm going to turn my blade and pop it back in. That way I'm using both sides of the blade, and maybe that makes a difference, you know. Yeah, it feels smoother. I was starting to feel some rough cuts. I don't know if you can see, like it's kind of rough. That way, you'll have your blade for a little bit longer, and then you switch it out for a new one, right? A refill. Okay. So this thing is still warming up because I barely plugged it in. It doesn't take too long, but yeah. Really, this is the piece that we're going to need for it. So, you know, I mean, and then we're going to do it this way, right? So I really want to fill in like around here. Which one is that? That's like little X's. Maybe this one just to make it different. Maybe this guy now. And maybe some of like this one. We can use all of them if you want to just fill it all in. You know what? Why not? Let's just use them all. There we go. And this guy. Okay, so something like that. I'm going to go ahead and kind of tape those together a little bit. I don't know if that's going to help at all or do anything, but there we go. And some of this, the length. It doesn't have to be the full length because we know we're going to cut a lot of it away anyway. Why do I always grab these scissors? They have some stickiness that I haven't cleaned off, and it's still there. And every time I use it, I'm thinking, why am I using these? But there it is. I need some Goo Gone. And I just want this to be about the width of what I'm doing. Some might get cut off, so that's fine. That's horrible. Okay. Now, I like to build up my sandwich here. That's normally what I do. So if you're going to do that, you want the color facing up because this is going to push the color into your work, you know? So you want the color facing you. If you're building it up on your surface, you're going to have paper, then this facing with the silver facing you. And then you put your plates down. Now see all that? I didn't have to use that. And that's okay. So what I'm going to do is leave it sticking out. And if I really want to, I can obviously just cut that right now. Maybe I'll try to get some better scissors. Trim this off. And you might think, what are you going to do with that? That is plenty to do like sentiments later. This little piece I'm cutting off right now, so definitely worth keeping. Let's make sure everything's pretty much going to be hitting some kind of foil. You see that? Okay. And it's not quite ready yet, so I'll leave that there. I don't know if this also needs to be blue. The sentiment, blue background, blue sentiment, or should I just go with something else? I'm going to grab a different color from my stash. And let's see what we have. Copper? Sure. Is it a copper color? It's satin rose gold. Okay, guys. Ooh, you know what? Maybe, since we have black card base, maybe we want to do that on some black cardstock. So I'm just going to take enough to help me out with this guy. I was going to say, I might even have a piece in here that's going to help me do that. Maybe. Maybe this one? Nope. A little short. Okay, fine. I always keep the extra pieces kind of in the roll. Okay, looks like my machine is ready, so that's great. And then we'll add some sprigs and other things, you know, to flesh this card out. But, oh my gosh, why do I keep reaching for these purple scissors? That stickiness is just horrible. Okay. Just making sure that... Okay. So let me grab a black piece of cardstock. Whenever I want just a piece, I always find like a whole, like, I mean, this is enough to make a whole other card, but oh well, I'm just going to cut into that. And get this guy ready. So thankful. That's cute. Happy stitching. I mean, they're all great, and I'm always doing thank you cards, so we're going with so thankful. Trim that off. Again, color facing down, words facing in here. Minding that we're going to cut this later, so make sure you have your paper left and right, up and down, and all that. That looks pretty good. And yes, my machine is nice and ready by this time. So, there's a little extra on that, but that's okay. Let's pop this guy over. Foil, plate. The plate needs to be touching the heat, okay? And I say that every time because I promise you, you'll forget at least once. And then, you know, you'll have your paper down and stuff. But, and like even when I said earlier, I was like, okay, when you do it on here, you're going to have paper, silver facing you. But yeah, upside down. Sorry guys if I was misleading on that one. Okay, and I press the button right down here. It starts flashing. I like to put my plates on top right now. Some people like to do it later. You know, if you watch Spellbinders, they will only put the metal and then they put the foil and the paper on after it's heated up. Whatever works for you. Whatever sandwich is great. So once the timer stops flashing, that's when you know you can run it through your machine. And in the meantime, I will grab my machine and pop it over here, put away these foils because I don't need them anymore. If you're going to sit and have your machine on, you might as well do a session and just do a whole bunch of the sentiments. That's what I'd like to do, and you'll just have them ready for later. So you are so amazing, you know, happy stitching, stitch with love. And I just realized I didn't even say the name of the these sets, didn't I? The Glimmer is so amazing, which is I think one of these here, and then the stitching set is called Stitched Wall Hanging. Oh, my timer went off, so I guess we're ready to go. All right, let's make sure I'm not losing any of these pieces. I'm gonna pull this out carefully. That is one thing if you do put this on, it's not gonna touch it really until you push it through your machine, but you know, you just wanna be careful. And I'm going to go ahead and roll this through. Oh, handle should be over here where I can turn it. That'd be great. All right. Let's see what we got. Ah, it came right off, so I'm gonna let that fall off. And look at that. I mean, it just popped off, but other than that, it's perfect. Obviously, my foil wasn't touching there, but look at that. Absolutely perfect. Okay. Let's take this side over here. Ooh, and how fun is this? Again, keep it in your stash. You can then get this onto another piece of paper with one of your like solid plates or just by layering up a bunch of paper. Okay, so generally get this back on here and just wait for the platform to be ready again. It should only take a few seconds. Pop this on here with the metal, the plate touching the surface, and then I'll press timer and do the whole process for my sentiment, and I'll be right back. All right. I will say, if you put your platform and everything like I do, sometimes you'll get a little moisture, which is kind of interesting. I don't know if it's coming from the surrounding area, from the paper, you know, it happens. So there you go. And that, again, is perfect. I don't have to do any cleaning up of maybe some overfoiling. So what happens is, if you do get some foil, like let's say like you saw this little tiny one right here, but it's closer to my words or however, just take an eraser and just erase over it and it comes right off. And I like to do that when it's still warm than waiting when it's cold and then trying to do it. This is kind of like a letterpress effect where the foil is pushed into your paper, so if you go right over it with an eraser, nothing happens. I mean, you can see it doesn't go away because it's pushed in, and then what's on the surface does get rubbed away, all right? So to think about, and okay, let me clean up a little bit, and I'll be right back. You know, I'm going to quickly just cut down some cream colored paper. I want to, it would be really cute too. Oh, if you have like striped paper, something that looks like wallpaper or something like that, like it was hanging, that'd be adorable. But 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. I was gonna say that looks really wide. I did something else. 4 1/8. I did like 4 and I don't know, 3/8. They just look too big. Okay, I'm gonna run this through one of the embossing folders of this month. I think the 3D embossing folder. It's really cute with all its little like sewing like needles and stuff like that. In the meantime, I also eyeball this and kind of go ahead and tape that. Run that through. Let's recycle our tape if we can. So I'm going to take that, and I'm just eyeballing this kind of left and right, up and down, seeing where that looks about even. So I'm gonna run that through, and then this guy we can also run it through with this bottom one. And so again, that's why I wasn't too worried about like missing a little bit of this one, because I can eyeball that anyway. I didn't have excess, and that looks good. I think I'll run it through like right here. I'm looking at above and below, maybe there. That looks pretty good, pretty straight. Okay. This guy's bigger. whenever I do tape something like this down, I will not tape on the foil. I try to tape where there isn't foil, and then like towards the outside, I'll run that through too. So I will be right back. So, these two. Actually, I'm going to remove that first, and then be careful with that. Cute. And then we have our So Thankful. And that'll work for her there. And then we have this guy that I just pushed through the, oopsie, 3D embossing folder. I am in love with it. Both sides look amazing, whichever side you like. And I'm just going to go ahead and just glue this down onto my card base, and then we'll go from there. So I'm just going to glue that down, and I'll be right back. Okay, so just kind of holding that down. So, okay, we have this, you have that. We're going to take this guy, and I didn't bring out some paper, but I'm going to run this through like a dark brown or like a craft color, something that looks like wood, with all 3 layers. So again, we're going to tape those down, whichever paper I end up using. So it's going to cut this guy, it's going to emboss that middle one, and then it'll cut this one too, so it's a whole framed out kind of situation. And you put some tape so they don't move, right, on your paper, and I'll run it through again, craft card or some kind of brown colored paper. And then to finish that part up, I'll also run this guy through maybe something silver or gold, just the metal that looks like it's hanging it. Black would be cute too, but anyhow, I'll be right back. So maybe you saw there, it popped right out. It has a little texture on there. Where is my little gold piece? Okay. This little guy can be, you know, however. I'm gonna bring this over. See kind of where this ends up at. Okay, I'm going to put some glue around here, and I'm gonna slide that little piece in after I kind of see where it's at. So I'm not gonna put too much glue on that top edge. Just kind of eyeballing where this is. I don't know, for me, ovals are hard to like keep straight, to know that it's straight, you know? Okay, so I have that, and then I'm going to put a little glue on the back and on the front. Which I said that opposite, I understand. Oh my gosh, that is so cute. Tuck it right in, just so it's protected a little bit. And I'm just leaving it up. I mean, you can put glue behind there if you want to really squish it down. But see how I'm saying? It's hard to know what's perfectly kind of straight. Or if that's even in the center, I can't really tell. It looks a little too over this other direction. Now that's completely crooked. Okay. There we go. And then this guy can kind of pop in the center. I'm also just going to glue it straight since I did flatten everything else. Oh, this would be a really great one for a shaker, you guys, because if you wanted to do your acetate, just cut it from this outer piece, right? And it covers the whole area. Nice and flat and right away. And go from there. But anyhow, okay. That looks really good. Now, generally I hold these things down. Then we're going to have this, you know, So Thankful. That's cute. Like I said, we have the flowers, we have sprigs. I'm going to bring any of these in. They're going to look lovely. I mean, okay, so I'm going to run this through some greenery. Or something green. This is interesting. Is there another sprig? Am I missing another sprig? This one has where these little buttons would come from, right? Oh, or isn't this? Well, I don't know. To me, it looks like it's something like that, possibly. I'll run this one through. I feel like I'm missing something. Maybe that one has... Oh, there it is. No wonder. I was like, where do these guys go? So this little branch has nothing, and then you can put these little guys on there, too. So I'm going to run this through maybe something gold or some kind of accent color that's fun, and then, like, whatever flower color or bud color I want for that. And then some greenery. And I'll be right back. brown actually for my little stem. Just, I don't know, I like the brown. And then for these little blue guys, I'm just going to put this on here and make the little flowers blue. And I ran a couple of them through. I don't know if I'll use both of them, but it's easy enough to kind of just pop these on here. There's that one, and then the next one, and the next one. Okay, and I'll do the same thing for the second set that I created. Oh, see, there we go. And I will be right back. So I already put some dimensionals on the back of this. I left the carriers on because I know I'm going to put it here, but I'm not sure exactly where or how. Not how, but where, I guess. How would be with the adhesive there. Cute. I love the green. I chose kind of sagey kind of color. And again, we don't have to use both of them. We don't, you know, whatever's you like. I just cut a few sprigs to see what I would want to do. Maybe more in here and bring this guy. And then both of these on this up in here. Or one and one. I was debating that because then that looks like it's just so even with 2 and 2. You know, I don't care for that kind of thing. Let me bring this a little closer. Oh, I suppose I can do one more sprig with some little flowers. This one. And then the stem, huh? And then maybe do that one gold. Okay, well, I'll run this through some gold paper and this through something else that I feel is like bluish, you know, still kind of the same family. I'll be right back. Okay. I don't know why I keep ditching the gold, but I went with like a metallic green. And then I'll just add these little light blue flowers on. And that will be that. Where did I put my glue? Of course, it's right in front of me, and for some reason I'm looking for it everywhere else. So this is on the smaller side, but what you can do, or at least how I do, is I just put the little dots of glue on those little dots. And then I would just bring these guys in. Let me put it down here so you can see it. Ah, and then just add the little flowers here and there. Right, kind of one way or the other on each little dot, and I will be right back. That didn't help at all. Okay, there we go. Okay guys, so I just tucked that in there to see what that, and that's exactly what it needs. Just a little something else. I was just gonna do the 2, it needs something else. So, yeah, I don't do any of those tricks where you put like press and seal or something, help you pick it up and all that. Normally I'll just tuck it right back where it was. The only thing is I don't really know exactly where this is going to go at the end, so there we go. I'll just start over. So a little glue, and then I'll give a quick check before I actually push that down. You want to put some dimensional adhesives under these, that'd be really cute. A little more texture, a little more dimension, should I say. That guy's going to be kind of in here. I'm more concerned about the ends because I want them to be covered by this, right? That's what I'm looking for. If I had this kind of over here, that would be just fine. Let those be on their own a little more. I like where this guy is. What is going on? Usually I can pick these up, kind of get my hand under there without doing anything, but I don't know. Today it's not working for me. I usually just kind of leave them where they are. Anyhow, so I'll just pop some more little glue under here. It's not working for me. I'm just going to pick them up. Let's see here. I wonder if it's the size because they're a little bit smaller, these little bits. Usually I can just kind of not have to move anything. And there. Okay, I'm going to hold those down before I move on to sticking this down. Sorry, normally I wouldn't pause there, but my son had just gotten home from work and wanted to tell me a story. Alright, so I can go there. Let's see here. And something like that. You know, whenever it's something that goes like this, I never can know, like, okay, where's the straight? Should I just kind of, what do you count as a straight part? You know what I'm saying? So hopefully that's okay, I think. I don't know. Should I move over just a little bit? kind of like where it was, but I feel like it needs to go in just a little more. And just a little more this way. Alright guys, well there is our card. Cute. It has a lot of different textures, a lot going on for as quickly as it was made. So thanks for watching guys. I'll have images coming up. I'll have the links in the description box. Again, these are for April of 2024. And if you pick it up later, again, the Glimmer will just be the plates but no foil and things like that. Same thing with the wax seal is what I've learned. It'll be the seal itself, but it doesn't come with the wax beads. So something to think about. And yeah. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'll have images, I'll have the links there, and I'll see you all at the next one. Bye now.